الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا
Night fell over Makkah. Before dawn, the desert held its breath. The city slept, yet malice was awake. Mockery had turned to violence, violence to a plot of murder. Blades were readied, shadows gathered. Young men from every clan surrounded the house of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, waiting for dawn to silence the message of truth. Calm and unseen, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stepped out before their very eyes. Verses flowed from his lips. Dust fell from his hand. His faith veiled their sight. Upon his bed lay Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu an, wrapped in the Prophet's cloak, sleeping where swords were meant to fall. A sacrifice of love, a trust without hesitation. 14 centuries ago, a journey began across the Arabian desert sands, a journey that would reshape the world.
Today, 16 travelers guided by the silence of the deserts and the secrets of the mountains, following footprints meant not to vanish but to be preserved in memory, walk the same path, not to escape but to understand, step by sacred step, seeking nearness to the final and most beloved Prophet of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the Hijra Walk Experience with Saeed Institute. From the desert into the heart.
O mountains of Mecca, what can you say of the day that Abraham passed your way, and he was instructed by God?
The family began their journey from the same place the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. The home he shared with the mother of the believers, Lady Khadija radiallahu anha. Today, its location is hidden in plain sight, known only to those who know where to look.
Saw here the adiyah, the calamities, the trials, the tribulations, the hardships the Prophet ﷺ faced in this masjid here. And we hear that the likes of Sayyidah Fatima radiallahu anha would come and help the Prophet ﷺ. He saw the death of his uncle Abu Talib and the death of Khadija radiallahu anha and the embargo that the Prophet ﷺ faced. All of it happened here.
The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam made his way to the home of his trusted companion, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu an, who waited, ready, with 2 camels prepared long before. Qaswa was for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the other for himself.
At the corner of this otherwise unremarkable building, 2 small windows mark the place that once served as the home of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu an.
With a skilled, though not yet Muslim, guide, they set out not north but south, toward Kazwara on the outskirts of Makkah. Before leaving Makkah, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam turned back towards the city. His voice trembled, not with fear, but with love. By Allah, you are the best of the lands of Allah and the most beloved land of Allah to me. If your people had not expelled me from you, I would not have left. The city that rejected him was still the city he loved. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu an moved south towards Mount Thor, harsh and broken, its path unforgiving. One camel would later develop a limp from the rocky terrain. Hijrah was not comforted by miracles alone. It was earned through hardship.
On the way to Mount Thor, the family lost one of their own. Soon they were reunited, but this was a quiet warning that the journey ahead demanded closeness.
Within the mountain lay Cave Thor. Before the Prophet ﷺ entered the cave, Abu Bakr radiallahu an went first. He tore his garment into strips, sealing every hole he found. One remained. He covered it with his heel. Then, a snake bite. Pain surged. Yet Abu Bakr radiallahu an did not move. Tears rolled down his cheek. He feared he may wake the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whose blessed head rested on his thigh. When the tears touched the Prophet's face, he awoke. With his blessed saliva, the poison was cured and the pain eased.
The family received some difficult news. Mount Thor had been sealed by the authorities and the path was closed. The cave beyond reach. Disappointment settled in, but it did not break them. They remained where they were, seeking not the mountain, but its meaning, not the cave, but its lessons. Their intention was pure, and their spirits remained high.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إلا تنصروه فقد نصره الله إذ أخرجه الذين كفروا ثاني اثنين إذ هما في الغار إذ يقول لصاحبه لا تحزن إذ يقول لصاحبه لا تحزن إن الله معنا إن الله معنا فأنزل سكينته عليه وأيده بجنود لم تروها وجعل كلمة الذين كفروا السفلى وكلمة الله هي العليا والله عزيز حكيم صدق الله العظيم.
For 3 nights, the Prophet ﷺ and his companion remained in the cave. The enemies from Quraysh came close, very close. The Prophet ﷺ reminded Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu an that Allah was with them. Allah had deployed his creation. A spider spun its web across the cave's mouth. Birds nested and laid eggs. When the enemy reached the cave's entrance, the signs before them made them conclude that no one could be inside the cave, and they left. Meanwhile, Abdullah ibn Abu Bakr brought nightly intelligence. Asma bint Abu Bakr brought food while carrying a child in her womb. Amir ibn Fuhaira grazed sheep over their tracks, erasing footprints by day. People of faith and courage, radiallahu anhum. After 3 nights in the cave of Thor, when the pursuit cooled, the Prophet ﷺ and Abu Bakr radiallahu an set out on the long road to Medina. They did not take the familiar caravan road. Instead, they moved along the coastal route, a quieter way, barren and exposed, chosen to avoid the eyes of the enemies of Islam. Sand dunes and valleys folded around them. The earth was rugged and brutal, yet it became a shield. This was hijrah, not flight, but strategy.
Out here, the family tried to imagine what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companion radiallahu an faced. No shade, no visible protection, only the endless horizon and faith strong enough to cross it. And though the family walk in comfort compared to the past, each step reminds us, this journey was born from hardship. Hardship is not the enemy of faith. It is the furnace in which faith is forged.
At a distance roughly 45 to 48 kilometers from Mecca, a solitary rock stood, broad, ancient, its shadow falling precisely where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam rested. The sun was fierce, the desert unforgiving, yet that rock cast shade, like mercy, descending.
The family drew near the blessed stone. No words were spoken. They paused before it, as if standing at the edge of history. They moved around it slowly, footsteps careful. Reverent, they sat beneath it, letting its ancient shadow wrap around them. Their eyes traced every line, every scar etched by time. This stone has witnessed what living souls can only imagine.
سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
The sun was harsh. The land was open. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr radiallahu an travelled on, they came upon a shepherd with his flock. Abu Bakr radiallahu an asked for an unmilked sheep. The shepherd obliged. Abu Bakr radiallahu an milked the sheep himself with his own hands. Then he cooled the milk carefully, not for himself, but for the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He offered it forward. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam drank. Abu Bakr radiallahu an watched, attentive. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam continued drinking until he was satisfied, and this in turn brought satisfaction to Abu Bakr radiallahu an. Such was his love for the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In that quiet exchange in the heat of the desert, the true meaning of companionship was revealed.
The family were humbled by a love that asked for nothing, by a companionship so sincere it did not need witnesses. In that stillness, the family didn't just hear the story. They felt it. A warmth would spread within the family, a desire to love selflessly for the sake of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
In the early stages of the Hijrah, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu an met the tribe of Banu Aslam in Buraida. One meeting with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and their hearts were transformed. Around 80 families accepted Allah as their Lord and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as their Prophet. In this one meeting, more people embraced Islam than in all 13 years of persecution and struggle in Makkah. One day, one place, a turning point in the story of faith. In Qudayd, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam stopped at the tent of Lady Ma'bad al-Khuza'iyah, a woman of sharp eye, honest tongue, and neutral mind, as she had never met the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam until now.
the family camped at this very spot. This was to be the first night in the desert for the family, and they were welcomed lovingly by the team on the ground. The family could barely believe it, that of all the people in the world, Allah had chosen them to be here in these historic lands, to hear the desert whisper its secrets.
There was drought. Lady Ma'bad had with her one weak goat. The Prophet ﷺ asked permission to milk it. In the name of Allah, he touched the goat. Milk flowed, and it flowed in abundance. Later, when her husband returned, he immediately sensed a warmth in the air. Lady Ma'bad described the Prophet ﷺ to him, a description that would echo through history and into the future.
قالت معبد في وصف المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم: رأيت رجلا ظاهر الوضاءة أبلج الوجه حسن الخلق لم تعبه ثجلة ولم تزر به صعلة وسيم قسيم في عينيه دعج وفي أشفاره وطف وفي صوته صحت وفي عنقه سطع وفي لحيته كثاثة أحور أكحل أزج أقرن شديد سواد الشعر إذا صمت علاه الوقار وإذا تكلم سماه وعلاه البهاء أجمل الناس وأبهاهم من بعيد وأحسنهم وأحلاهم من قريب حلو المنطق فصل لا نزر ولا هدر كأن منطقه خرزات نظم يتحدرن ربعة لا تشنأه عين من قصر ولا تقتحمه من طول غصن بين غصنين فهو أنظر الثلاثة منظرا وأحسنهم قدرا وله رفقاء يحفون به إذا قال استمعوا لقوله وإذا أمر تبادروا لأمره محفود محشود لا عابس ولا مفند اللهم صل وسلم على حبيبنا المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم.
But haqiqatul hijrah, the real migration, is from minal zulumati ila nur, from what the darkness of sin and disobedience to the light of obedience, and what al-ittiba, following the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wa ta'zeem wa tawqir, and having veneration and respect for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wal ithar, and to prefer the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam over and above everything. La tuqaddimu bayna yaday Allahi wa rasulih wattaqullah inna Allah samiyun alim. All those who believe, do not give precedence to anything over than Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Today, the family would travel with camels to assist them on their hijrah journey, in keeping with the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whether it was an act of courtesy, with the men allowing the women to ride first, or simply the pattern that would be revealed in the days ahead, the women having readied themselves much earlier than the men, the result was the same. By the time the men were ready, the womenfolk had already mounted the camels.
Word spread. A price of 80 red camels was on the head of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Suraka ibn Malik pursued them, horse pounding. Then the earth rebelled. His horse sank. He fell. He tried again, and again it sank. This was a sign so clear it transformed the pursuer. He begged for mercy. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forgave him and foretold that one day he would wear the bracelets of Kisra, the ruler of powerful Persia. Unfathomable then, but written all along. Years later, the prophecy stood fulfilled.
The family imagined the thunderous hooves, the desperation of a man chasing a reward, the sudden, impossible sinking of his horse into the earth itself. They felt the unmistakable presence of something larger than themselves, a force that bends the world to protect the faithful. In that moment, the desert demonstrated that it was not empty. It was alive with history, with miracles, with lessons written into the sand. For the family, the story became tangible. And deep inside, a quiet resolve grew. They too would carry mercy, courage, and patience. Scholars differ on whether the goat's milk miracle came before or after the horse sinking, but all agree these were signs, not coincidences, mercy and warning, side by side.
Between Kudayd and Kuleya, the land was thick with idols, among them Manat, ancient, feared by those who chose to be afraid of stone. Falsehood stood tall until truth returned with power. These idols would stand only until the conquest of Makkah, after which they were all destroyed.
Night fell as the family reached Juhfa. After another long day on the Hijra route, their steps slowed, their shoulders heavy with fatigue. Nearby stood a mosque, simple, welcoming, a quiet refuge in the open land. Its facilities offered comfort, water to wash away the dust of the road. The hardships of the walk did not disappear, but they softened. They reflected on the camel race from earlier. 2 camels finishing neck and neck, neither ahead, neither behind. The race ended not with a victor, but with balance. The race was a mirror of the family, a quiet lesson in harmony. That strength is not found in one pulling ahead, but in moving together. That every role matters, every presence counts, each member distinct yet the family inseparable.
At Al-Jufa, the Prophet ﷺ turned longingly towards Makkah, and Allah revealed reassurance. Indeed, the one who imposed the Quran upon you will surely return you to a place of return. The Prophet ﷺ would return to Makkah, not as an exile, but as a victor.
The family received a video call from Sheikh Ismail Al-Kurdi of Jordan, a warm delight and a great energy booster. Under the darkening sky of Juhfa, the family rested with smiles, grateful, renewed, in preparation to rise again for the road at dawn.
يلا يا شباب يلا يا شباب قوموا يلا يلا يا شباب لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله 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 لا إله إلا الله جود علينا لا إله إلا الله جود علينا أيها العاشق معنا حسننا مهرنا غال لمن يخطبنا مهرنا غال لمن يخطبنا جسد مضنى وروح في العنا وعيون لا تذوق الوسنا وعيون لا تذوق الوسنا وفؤاد ليس فيه غيرنا فإذا ما شئت أدي ثمنا فإذا ما شئت أدي ثمنا لا إله إلا الله الله الله.
The family arrived at a point where the Prophet ﷺ and Abu Bakr radiallahu an sought nourishment. With provisions scarce, they subsisted on the small berries growing on the al-Burayr plant. This was also the place where the Prophet ﷺ obtained miswak, used to clean his teeth, taken from the roots of the al-Arak trees. Following his example, the family gathered miswak from the same source, noting its distinct, spicy sharpness. A simple practice that connected them, physically, to the Prophet ﷺ.
Alhamdulillah, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is someone who paid a lot of attention to cleanliness, because he says in the hadith that what cleanliness is half of Iman. And we know that people who traverse the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can't clean your batin, your inward, except by cleaning your outward. And so the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam here is teaching us that those who have what pay importance and give concern to the cleanliness of their outward. We know that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would oil his hair, would comb his beard. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would love to wear perfume.
On the road, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr radiyallahu an met Talha ibn Ubaidullah radiyallahu an, returning from Syria. He gifted them white garments, pure, dignified, clothing fit for arrival to the city that would be home.
The first lava rocks came in sight. It is reported that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam may have prayed at this very spot for an extended period, a prayer of gratitude to Allah and a supplication seeking intercession for his followers.
يكن لي إن لم تكن لي من ذا يكن لي إن لم تكن لي ترى لي ذلي وأنت أرحم ترى لي ذلي وأنت أرحم أنادي يا خير هدي كم ذا أنادي يا خير هدي يكفي بعادي فالجود قد عم يكفي بعادي فالجود قد عم.
The family reached Wadi Ma al-Haya, which loosely translates as the Valley of the Life-Giving Water. The valley revealed itself slowly, as if it did not wish to be rushed. After the long stretch of open land, it felt almost unreal, a quiet hollow where life gathered gently. The ground dipped, and there it was, water flowing freely upon the earth, calm and generous, reflecting the sky above. Sparse greenery clung to its edges, grass stirring softly in the breeze, as if the land itself were breathing. The air felt cooler here, lighter. Footsteps slowed without effort, voices softened, and the weariness of the road loosened its grip. Dust was washed from hands and faces, and with it some of the heaviness carried since dawn. They paused, not out of necessity, but reverence. This was a reminder that even in the harshest terrain, Allah places mercy. That relief often arrives quietly, unseen until you draw near. As evening settled in, the movement of the day slowed, giving way to a brief period of unwinding in the soft light of dusk. Later, a suitcase filled with snacks became a source of unexpected delight and excitement, lifting spirits again.
O desert, how can I prepare for this hijrah? I asked. A reply came. Cover in layers. Cover your head. Bring a tent. Let sand be your bed. Cover your nose. Sidi Salman. Cover your face. Come attentive. Lower your gaze. Bring water plenty, but drink not in haste. But O desert, if water quenches thirst, why then after drinking am I thirsty instead? 2 liters upon my back. Give me 2 more. Wasim, where's your Musi? Bring me 4. For water quench not this thirst. In fact, Musi quench not this thirst. Is there any cure? Surely I can't be the first. The more I drink, the more tears carve their way along barren cheeks, or eyes bear witness. For one mention of his name parches this throat and tongue alike, drier than your burning sun. How many days is this hike? For this desert heat strokes not gently, but fiercely, with intent. Like a furnace coal, extremely intense. Heat penetrates your soul, no false pretense. The desert cried out in rebuke. Lower your voice. Where is your shame? Don't you know whose footsteps you follow? This heat is not from me. It's a fever. Spare the doctor. He's useless. He has no cure. And I don't intend to harm you. But the anguish of love and yearning inside leaves me no choice. You think your tears are plenty. Did you not see mine in the spring of Ahya? This is the only cure I found. So let your tears join mine, for your journey is like no other. Fool not yourself, nor each other. Warn every sister, warn every brother. And let this be my advice to you, O travelers. Not every desert will change you, but this one will. We too used to be calm, with gentle heat, no malice, no harm. But after 1400 years, I can't keep this pain inside. No, this is not my choice. No, the affair is out of my hands. For I too long for him, just like you. Then let your tears flow and send your salams.
As we heard Sheikh Ismail say yesterday about his outward and inward qualities, كيف تعرف? How can you know the outward and inward qualities of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Al-Muhaddithun wal-Fuqaha. They are the ones who have what? Narrated for us and written down and recorded for us who the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is and was. There is no way unto the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam except through the door of the ulama. Anta mumkin what? You can speak about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, lakin you have to understand who he really was.
The next day began early. Several hours before sunrise, the family set out to continue their hijrah, staying close together through the darkness. In the distance, wild dogs could be heard howling, their calls carrying across the still landscape. Above them, the night sky remained clear, the stars offering guidance as the family continued in the direction of Medina. Dawn came quickly as they reached Mount Al-Mulaisa.
أنا لا أفكر في نفسي دائما. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he wasn't there going, oh, what am I going to eat tonight? What am I going to eat tomorrow? Where am I going to go next week? How am I going to live? لا. قال أمتي أمتي. He said, my nation, my nation. فهمه كان what? كبير. His concern was enormous. فكان what? كبيرا. His ruh, his soul was what? The greatest soul, because it could what? Encompass great things. فهمته كانت كبيرة. And his hum was kabir, his concern was kabir. And all of us should want to be of those who we may start little, but we have great what? Himma and concern, and we want to reach heights. This is what it means to have himma, from hum, to have a great aspiration in your life and ambition.
After Mount Al-Mulaisa, also known as the Akha Rock, the Prophet ﷺ passed by near Al-Abwa, where rested his beloved mother. So near, easily within reach, the heart must have stirred, the grief must have risen, yet the hijrah demanded everything. Its call allowed no detour. And so the Prophet ﷺ continued on, carrying his longing in silence. 6 years would pass before the opportunity returned, when he would stand at her grave, when tears would fall, and when he would weep, allowing others to weep with him.
The thought landed softly, then sank deep. As the family paused, they appreciated how close, physically, the Prophet ﷺ was to his mother's resting place. Yet, he did not turn aside. He continued on. The realization tightened their chests. Even the deepest personal longing was set aside for a higher trust. In that moment, admiration deepened into reverence. They contemplated over the strength it takes to walk past what the heart yearns for, to choose duty when emotion pulls elsewhere. It made their own struggles feel smaller. Standing there, they felt the profound discipline of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whose love for Allah's command surpassed even the most intimate ties of the heart.
إنما الأعمال بالنيات فما نيتك? Says, oh, verily actions are by intentions. فأنا لماذا أستيقظ في الصباح? Why do I wake up in the morning? ولماذا أنام? Why do I sleep? ولذا why do I have friends? Why do I come on the hijrah walk? What is my goal in life? لماذا 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 لماذا? That's why Simon Sinek has a book called Why. Because if you understand your why, you've understood your life. If you understand why I wake up, why I go to sleep, and what my mission is in life, you what? Man arafa nafsah, arafa rabbah. Whoever understands his mission in life, understands who he is and who he worships.
يلا يا شباب يلا يا شباب قوموا يلا يلا يا شباب.
So I just wrote this on the way here, and just it's an accumulation of everything that I've been feeling so far. Bismillah. I was traveling to Thaniyatul Wada. A broken voice called out, "Oh doctor, is there anything you can do? I've approached everyone I possibly could. There's none to turn to. Relieve me, reprieve me, oh doctor, with no cue. I have all but a backpack with me, for I am here for other reasons, you see. And in less than 8 days I intend to reach. But my state is desperate, doctor, please. Years of hardship endured, bring me ease. I'll be a patient, do appease. I'll hear you out, but don't expect much. No stethoscope, no thermometer, no equipment as such. Now tell me your condition, 10 minutes, no rush. To assess my state, you need no such thing. I have fever raging all the time. What relief can you bring? Exhausted, paralyzed like a bird without wings. A desert with no sand, a queen with no king. Like a sheikh with no ilm, like a munshid who can't sing. Oh doctor with no cure, what relief can you bring? About this I have not heard before. Is your body aching? Is your chest sore? Does your heart skip beats? Was there a time when you were well before? Came a reply with vigor and life. I was grand, living with hope, longed to be visited by soft, gracious footsteps, but I have not seen him for time. For I loved him emphatically, protected him like he was mine. When I smelt his fragrant musk approach, I was intoxicated without wine. And when they plotted against, we defended. O Suraqa, it was me, for I enshrouded your horse's legs like vines. I have good news and bad news, but patient you must be. The good news is, I know what's wrong. You are broken-hearted, love-struck, in this find reprieve. But I'm a doctor with no cure, though I may help you find ease. For I am the same, and I am traveling with a group where you'll find more. So take us swiftly to Medina. Abdurrahman, say please. And when he sings, listen attentively. By Allah, his voice both soothes and heals, and in the words of the Gnostics, will bring you relief until we reach Medina and this journey we complete.
The Prophet ﷺ and Abu Bakr radiallahu an pressed on, leaving the yielding sand behind as they entered Wadi di Salam. The earth itself seemed to transform beneath their feet, softness giving way to stone, stillness to ascent. What had been a flat, open expanse rose gradually into an incline, each step heavier than the last, each breath met with thinner air. The valley narrowed, the silence deepened, and the land bore witness to a journey, not merely across terrain, but through trial, trust, and unwavering purpose.
The valley narrowed until the land itself seemed to draw inwards. Stone walls pressed close, reducing the vast desert to a passage no wider than a few meters. In that constriction came recognition, quiet and overwhelming, that this family now stood where the best of all creations sallallahu alaihi wasallam once stepped. What had been open wilderness became sacred ground. The heart responded before the tongue could form words. In that narrow space, the desert fell silent, and reverence roared.
ألا يرضى بنظرة من العين الرحيمة تداوي كل ما بي من أمراض سقيمة ألا يا صاح لا تجزع وتضجر وسلم للمقادير كي تحمد وتؤجر وكن راضي بما قدر المولى ودبر.
Just before reaching the camp, the family stopped at a milestone on the route. Such markers were placed by caring people of the past, to assist fellow travelers on their journeys, to aid friends and strangers alike.
أكبر لا إله إلا الله
مثل طه في الورى
all of us, if you want to become closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَبَابُنَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ. The door is the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَحَبْلُكَ, your rope and your connection and of ittisal, of connection to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is your salutations to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فَهُنَاكَ عُلَمَاء. Here, Shaykh Yusuf al-Nabahani, he has multiple books and he collects all the salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فَإِقْرَأُوا. These are kunuz, treasures that our ulama have left for us to connect to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
يلا يا شباب يلا يا شباب.
It was another early start.
إن التيا ريح الصبا يوما إلى أرض الحرام إن التيا ريح الصبا يوما إلى أرض الحرام بلغ سلامي روضة بلغ سلامي روضة فيها النبي المحترم الله 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 قرآنه برهاننا نسخ اليديا نمضات قرآنه برهاننا نسخ اليديا نمضات إذ جاءنا أحكامه كل الصحف صار العدم الله 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 الله
the climb turned harsh and unrelenting at Thaniyat al-Gair. Jagged rock rose from the ground, each step demanding care. Just beyond the shoulder, the land fell away into sheer drops, silent and unforgiving. The mountain reared steeply upward, its face broken by sharp-edged boulders that jutted like blades from the earth. The climb demanded frequent pauses. Moments to draw deep breaths, steady trembling limbs, and summon the resolve to press onward, each step a quiet act of determination against the relentless slope. Yet within the challenge, the family would still find humor. Small comforts like sweets eased the journey, offering brief reprieves and encouragement.
Allah, Allah, al-azim Allah, waqafna fil ma'bud tadub ma'na ash-shuhud. Allah, Allah, idh laysa al-wujud illa.
Later, the family came upon stones etched with inscriptions from those who had come before, messages of faith left by great figures of the past, testifying to their devotion to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Each carved word stood as a silent witness, bridging centuries, reminding travelers that the path they trod had been walked by many hearts steadfast in belief.
O majestic mountains and valleys of Mecca and Medina, you stand with elegance, bearing witness to the passage of time, each one unique, some shining bright, others weighed down by trials. You've seen it all, witnessed the footsteps of the beloved. How does it feel? O golden sands of the desert, you've paved a path of perseverance. Each grain tells a story, some soft and comforting, others prickly with challenges. You felt His presence. How does it feel? O radiant blue skies, your design is breathtaking. Each cloud crafted with purpose, some shading, some revealing. Did you fight to protect Him? How does it feel? O ancient rocks, you've offered support and solace, some hard and unyielding, others providing gentle comfort. How does it feel?
After days crossing the endless sun-scorched desert and rugged mountains, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr radiallahu an approached the humble village of Quba on the outskirts of Medina. Every step carried the weight of hardship endured, of exile from home, and of hope for a new dawn. As they arrived, the air seemed to shift. Here was sanctuary. Here the weary would find rest. Here faith would take root. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would stay for roughly 2 weeks, establishing the first mosque in Islam, Masjid Quba. The desert itself seemed to pause. The wind hushed as if the land itself bore witness to the moment. The first step towards Medina, towards hope.
The family approached Quba with hearts pulled in different directions. Behind them lay the desert, the valleys, the mountains. Lands that had stripped life down to its essence and taught them what truly mattered. Ahead of them was life itself. Voices, responsibility, and return. Between what had been endured and what awaited, they walked in silence, carrying lessons carved by stone and sand.
فالمسلم دائما, the Muslim always attaches to meaning and not form. And I reiterate what Sidi Ahmed said, is that the meaning must remain in our hearts, because this is a place of form that must enter your being. فَمَنْ سَيَكُونُ, who will become Muhammadan after this? Who will let Medina enter? كُلُّكُمْ سَيَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَبَى. Says all of you will enter Jannah except for those who are refused to enter. فَالْأَمَرُ يَرْجِعُ إِلَيْكَ, the affair is yours.
The city of Medina rose on the horizon, walls modest, palm trees swaying in the desert breeze. Whispers of the Prophet's arrival raced through alleys and rooftops. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered the city riding the camel Qaswa, not as a refugee, but as a welcomed leader. From doorways and rooftops, men, women, and children emerged, faces radiant with hope, hearts pounding at the long-awaited arrival. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam smiled, nodded, and spoke gentle words of reassurance. This was not a triumphant march. Rather, it was a return of hope.
The walk from Quba to Masjid Nabawi was heavy with feeling. Every step brought them closer to their beloved, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best of all creation. Heartbeats quickened, breaths caught, and the air seemed to hum with the sacredness of the moment. It was a walk of longing and hope, leaving solitude behind to stand in the presence of the one they revered so much.
Yathrib, a plagued city, became Al-Madinah Al-Munawwara, the enlightened city. The Hijrah had ended. A new civilization had begun.
14 centuries later, the journey still breathes. This journey taught them that faith, more often than not, is many footsteps, one after another, taken with courage, shaped by struggle, strengthened by companions. With each faltering step, with each slip upon the rocks, each fall on the sand dunes, with each thorn that tore through cloth, through shoes, through skin, each graze that burned, each bead of sweat, with each cramp that seized, each strain that tested resolve, each sprain that humbled, each struggle to catch breath, with each chilly night and midday sun, each cold shower, each breakfast that turned into lunch, and lunch that turned into dinner, with each stomach churn from the rising camels, each sore throat, each nosebleed, with each kilometer that turned into 3, each hill that turned into a mountain, and each death drop over our shoulders, with each insect bite, each seen spider and beetle, each unseen snake and scorpion, with each zip of the tents, each frantic search in the suitcases, each lost item unexplained, with each electrolyte-stained water bladder, each magnesium pill, or 2, with each Karok chai that did not hit the spot, and each absent cup of coffee, with each word of the moment and each word of the day, with each drawing and painting, each reflection, each poem, each reminder, each struggle makes a fond memory. In every step, the Hijrah whispered its lessons, etched not only in lead and ink, but in dust, blood, and perseverance. For the family, for Anis, Muhammad Bilal, Danish, Khalid, for Iman, Halima Fatima, Yusra, for Musaddiq, Samir, Muhammad Siddiq, Talha, for Yahya, Zainab Sofia, Noor, for Sidi Abdurrahman, for Sheikh Siddiq. Their Hijrah walk reached its end, but the journey did not. They returned carrying something unseen, a reshaped heart, a clarified purpose, a gaze fixed beyond the ordinary. Life resumes, but it no longer looks the same, because once a soul has walked the path of Hijrah, it never truly comes back. It only moves forward with a new way of seeing the world.
And so the journey continues in praise of Allah, the most merciful, the all-merciful, the ever-merciful. And upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we send our salutations. The final messenger, the light that pierced the darkness, the mercy sent to mankind.
Who will I be? هذا سؤال. لكن this is a journey. It's not how you start, it's how you end.
وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله.
Let me see what's in your hands, Samir. Let me see.
Now this is getting a bit creepy now.
I know, can you get rid of it? Sir, can you slow down please? I'm out of breath. I need the rest.
Backstreet Boys are back.
1, 2, please. Finish. 1, 2, 3.
He's not finished.
Down, like half a quarter. Yes. And look at me. Allah.